So we're gonna mount the upper model using the universal mounting table. The universal mounting table has to be set flat or parallel to the floor on this part, and it's got to be on the first and shortest line on the vertical pin. Okay, once we have that, we're gonna set it here. Make sure this lays flat and there's no space between the magnetic plate and the universal occlusal stand. Once you have that, then you're gonna close. Make sure you're using the clear incisal table right here. Okay, make sure it's flat and it goes right there. Okay, then you're closing the articulator. Make sure your pin is set at 0. Okay, then good. Then I'm going to have a mounting plate and a magnetic right there that just goes like this. Okay, make sure it's flush in here and the magnetic portions right there. Next step is, if you have this pin that goes into the occlusal stand, you can use it having the flat thing going towards the back like this. Okay, so with that you can always, or it's easier for you to set the model just like it is right now. I'm reusing one of these old models just because I don't want to ruin the other ones. But remember, models have to be indexed. Okay, in the Dosuki guide it says exactly how you have to index it. Now you're gonna place it right there and make sure it's stable. If it's not stable, you can use a little bit of wax where it's not stable, just to make sure it stays exactly where it is and it's not moving. Second step is making sure that you have enough clearance for the mounting stone. If you do, then you will, as the Dosuki guide says, you're gonna place a wet paper right there just to get this base here moistened. Okay, if we don't do this, then all the water that my mounting stone has, it will be absorbed by the model and it'll set quicker. Now we're gonna use the mounting stone. Okay, with the mounting stone, remember it's a low expansion, fast setting stone. This stone will not have as much as expansion as it sets. For that, we have to keep the water ratio as for 100 grams, which is this pouch here, we need 27 milliliters. 27 milliliters, you can always put it right here, but these ones we don't find them as often in the lab. So these ones you can find them anywhere, and I just draw a line where 26 is. It's probably in between the scoop 1 and scoop 2, somewhere in the halfway. Okay, so again, I'm gonna add up the water. I will open up the pouch, and this one does not have to be vacuum mixed. This one you can always only hand mix it. We're using a stone spatula. I'm gonna hand mix it. Make sure we have a good consistency of the stone, and we got a nice and creamy mixture. Once I have that mixture done, I'm gonna make sure I put a little bit of this in the retentions of the mounting plate. Okay, if you see in the mounting plate, it's got some retentions. I want to get into those retentions. Don't worry, you have time. You don't have that much time, but you do have time to work on this. Okay, I want this mounting stone to cover part of most of that mounting plate, and then I'll take out the wet paper and I'm going to put it right on top of this. Make sure this model does not shake or move, okay? You gotta steady. And then I'm gonna wait up a little bit to see how much more I have to put. Maybe I can put a little bit more, but remember, this goes only in the middle of it. All around it, we will use regular plaster. As you see, I'm closing it. My pin is at 0, and the stone is touching the model and the mounting plate. That's all I need for this step. Once we have the upper and the lower mounted with the mounting stone, as we did the lower, we locked it down with the hot gun. If I try to open it right now, these might chip, and the glue from the hot glue gun may just break your cast. So what I always recommend is to, now it's time to get everything nice and wet. You have to make sure the pin still touching the acrylic inside the table, okay? Remember, these things tend to expand, so if you find that this part here, it's lifted, then you have to redo the lower again, okay? Now, I'm gonna take it out, and as you see, it's pretty locked in. So what I want to do is get it very wet so I can get it right there. And before I start making this mounting pretty, I want to make sure I got good occlusion on this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it back onto my articulator, okay? I'm gonna set the upper back, okay? And using a shim stock strip, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and check on the occlusion, okay? And what I need to have is resistance as I'm pulling it out. You see? When we're doing the exam, I'm gonna check on this side, on the posterior, I need to have some resistance. Where you should have, or where you're gonna make the wax up, right there. And then on the anterior portion also. Now that I'm all wet, it's getting, but I need to have some resistance right here. And then on the other side, same thing. I'm gonna lay down the shim stock and make sure, if I don't have here in the posterior, I don't have any. Maybe in the first molar, and there you go. You see? I got resistance. So if I have 2 or 3 points on each side, I got some resistance right there. And I got some resistance right there, okay? 2 or 3 points on each side on the posterior, then we're going to the next step. And the next step is to make these mountings nice and pretty. Remember, do not pull it from here, pull it from over here.